Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. We are today flying the Leonardo MD-88, which is actually just purely coincidental on sale right now. All of the Mad Dogs for Microsoft Flight Sim and for P3D. So if you don't have it, go and get it. And I actually got this MD-88 version, I think that's a package like the 83 and 88, a couple of months back, but I just never really flew it that much. I've flown it a couple of times now, but it's I mean it's kind of the same as the MD-82. So unless you're like me and trying to kind of build up your library of planes, I don't think there's any real reason to get it. Maybe for specific operations, right? And yeah, we are today here at some of you might already have been able to see at the Washington National Ronald Reagan Airport. We're flying for Fly UK with their North American or specifically Canadian subsidiary Aurora. And as you can see, we have a pretty nice livery. I guess it's supposed to be a bit. I'm trying to see now what Aurora means, but doesn't that mean? Yeah, that means like the Northern Lights, right? So that's why the livery is a bit like this, which was my thought. Or I guess that's on purpose, right? So I think I can verify my thought without any further evidence. One cool thing, as you can see here, the Atlantic Sun 737, so I've been able to get these AI planes from my other virtual airlines working. So I think I have Atlantic Sun, Metro Air and Fly UK in the sim, so that's pretty neat. In terms of the scenery, I guess you can already see that this is the Druzhevsky one, mainly focused on the city, but you do get some of the airports, this one and the military base close by, but nothing too fancy. I have the GSX integrated into this. I don't think you get that with the normal. You have to find some, I think, is it Builds that might be hosting the GSX compatibility patch, so you get these nice jetways. So that's good to be aware of. But yeah, we are flying up north to Canada, to Montreal to be exact. I did the same flight a couple of days ago, so I'm looking forward to doing this again. Or one thing I want to mention, it's really cool that they actually have the MD-88. There's so few virtual airlines out there that do fly it, specifically these, let's call them fake virtual airlines, the ones that are not based on real airlines. So it's really actually nice to see, even if it's only a subsidiary of Fly UK, that supports the MD-88. There's too many 737 and A320 based virtual airlines, unfortunately. But, or yeah, maybe not unfortunately. I guess it makes sense considering how the world looks now. But I guess that's the beauty of Flight Sim, right? You can create this virtual reality where you can immerse yourself in kind of anything, even modern day MD-80 ops. But yeah, not much else. I think we can jump in and get started. Should have everything set up, but let's see. Famous last words. Then there's always something bugging out. We do want the let me see, want to connect the ground power, which I think we'll do through this. We can put the position lights on. Let me just check if there's anything. Okay, we're gonna get the GPU connected. We do also want to get the jetway. I think that should do it automatically actually. So if you connect the jetway, since I have the GSX integration on, you should get the GPUs simultaneously. Let's put on the buses. Yeah, we have the GPU here. We can see the jetway coming in now. Let's check actually. Are we taking off from the same? So we're taking off from runway 4, which I assume is that one. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, when I flew a couple days back, we took off from runway 15. That's a short runway. Let's see if this Atlantic Sun manages to get to get up in the air. Looks pretty good. And away it goes. Quick, and does it get the gear up? Yeah, nice. Good to see the animations working. So yeah, bye bye plane, and back to our aircraft. Okay, so we have things up and running. To keep some sort of pace, maybe we can do the fire loop.
Fire left engine. Fire right engine.
I always forget to do this one otherwise.
Fire left engine.
Okay, that's good. We have the loop done. We can start this one. I want to see if I got the charts to work. I've had issues with that. So documents. We have my image documents. Hey, it seems to be working. What? This is crazy. Look at this, guys. No good naming system though, but it is. We got CYUL. Very nice to see, actually. We're landing on runway 06 left, and we have it, and it looks correct. That's very nice, actually. Good. Finally figuring it out. I think the problem was the size of the documents, right? So even if it was PNG files, you need to make sure the size isn't too large. And I guess the way to look at that is to look at the manuals, right? And then size at the same size as those PNGs or below. Don't know why they didn't integrate it as PDFs, but oh well. Not the end of the world. We can do the emergency light test actually. In order to do that, we need to change to PA.
and emergency light test.
Bing! There we go. Good. We can also start the boarding process. But before we do that, let's do the first things first. And actually I should have some good viewpoint for this. There we go. I did set up the viewpoints last time I flew with the 88, so we wanna do the ACAR system. It's not as fancy as on the FS Labs, but I do find it to be pretty good. At least when it works. And it's working, looking good. We have our estimated departures, blah blah blah. Very nice. We should also get a received message then with the further information. But we should do weight and balances while we wait. And we have a trip fuel of, we don't need that, 9175. Taxi fuel of 800. Crazy amounts of fuel that just goes to taxing, right? Crazy. Block fuel. This is so much fuel, right? You really notice that this is an old airline. 80s represent. I think at least this one was released at the end of 80s. Let's send this. We can hear the messages. So first off we have the crew message giving us some, it's only one, takeoff, CG, etc. We can print that. I don't know why it took me so long to start using the ACARs on this plane, but it's really cool. And you get the printing animation, etc. So that's nice. Not sure where you saved these, 'cause if I click it now it will disappear. So that's a bit annoying. Let me just check so I don't forget. 14.3. In terms of the flap, I do like to use 13. I think that's a pretty good takeoff flap. I don't think you can use 14 anyway. So 13. And let me see, we want to go so we can get the trim. There we go. Good. Now let's get the boarding started. I'm just gonna check, do we have a good viewpoint out here? We do. Maybe we can get it a bit down. We don't need to see all the surroundings. We should also have photo reel for for the whole flight, and at Montreal we should we have the nice flight Tampa, but we should also have photo reel covering everything. I've been busy doing orthos and autogen for everything. Okay, so let's see. I want to do the boarding, but I also wanted to check received messages. I haven't gotten anything new. So what we should do now. Oh yeah, one thing also. I think you have on flight log. You want to put in these times. The question is when you want to put those. And I think you can see it here. You have this nice A-cars tutorial. It will basically tell you when you need to put in this information. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you don't put it in, but so timestamp is automatically inserted. So let me see it out. Beginning taxi. So that's when you enter the out timestamp, and then after takeoff you enter the other one. So that's good to remember. But yeah, that's the only thing I really need to check. Let me just put the viewpoint back. We have 138 passengers, so quite a bit. We're flying from KDCA to CYUL. Oh, now we put these in the totally wrong box. Sorry about that, guys. We are flying up to 33,000, so not that high. We have a flight time about 2 hours, probably a bit shorter than that. 45 minutes should be sufficient. Let me check that we have the right flight plan. Well, it's gonna differ a bit, the flight plan. Actually, I realized I probably downloaded it with the wrong setting, actually. Let me have a look here. Weights, right? So we should be at around 132 almost in takeoff, and I'm gonna assume we're not. We're a bit higher actually. Let me import the flight plan. Let's see if it updates. Yes, we'll be a bit higher. But that's fine. We can just disregard that the flight plan will have some things off, because we have all the calculators here and stuff, so should be fine. It does though annoy me a bit that I forgot to change the profile to the Mad Dog one in SimBrief. There's just too many things you need to remember, right, when you set aircrafts up. So that's a bit annoying, but oh well, we'll make do. 138 passengers. We are Wi-Fi. You can't see it now, but we do advertise on the side of this plane that we have free Wi-Fi. So that's something to consider. And I guess the idea is, I'm not sure really Aurora, but I guess it's a bit of a budget airline, considering Wi-Fi being advertised. You rarely see that free Wi-Fi anymore, I feel, with a lot of these airlines, unfortunately. But let me see, I was doing the boarding. God, already getting things mixed up. Pack X, boarding music, we have the nice Fly UK. We don't have Aurora, but Fly UK is close enough. Safety, we'll use the Fly UK one. And we'll start. We'll also go here, do start boarding. And let me see if I can, if I have to do it here. Yeah, I think I have to do it with GSX, and it should do it automatically. And I also need actually to start the Fly UK A car, so we can fetch the booking and start the flight. So there we go, recording has started. Let's have a look if the doors etc. all open automatically. We don't need to attach the pushback tag already. We can wait. There you see it's all opening automatically. The flight attendants are entering without opening the door. That's no good. Oh, and look at that, we get a Metro Air taking off an A320 with the IAE engines. Does the animations work? It looks very good. I'm proud to say that I've made the PBR for those aircrafts. It's not perfect. It is also PBR on the wheels, which doesn't look good, but it's doable for AI. Don't have all the time in the world to fix things, unfortunately. We can put on the windshield anti-ice and anti-fog, just so we don't get any fog building up. It's really shitty weather today, so that sucks. We won't be able to see too much nice things. Talking about that, actually, let me just check that that the weather control is in the correct setting. Yeah, live. Very good. Okay, we have the boarding now. We got the load sheet as well. Which do differ from what we have, but we can acknowledge this. That will be fine. We could also print this, but no point in doing that. Weight and balance, we have this information. We can see the takeoff CG, it's 15 actually, so it does differ a bit, which is interesting actually. Based on what we got from this one, right, with 14.3. Let me see here if there's anything else we need to be aware of. Winds look fine. We'll have a bit of a headwind, I presume. So not the best. We have our destination weather 109.05 or 190 and 5 knots. Broke at 250. Okay, looks fine. Not the best, but not the worst either. Any note times? Quite a bit of note times. Well, not too many. Oh, this is for the departure one. Do we have anything for the... Oh yeah. So yeah, quite a bit of no dance. Let's let's not focus on those. Very important in real life, of course, but not in this fake virtual reality that we have. What we can do now, since we are boarding and everything seems to be going somewhat okay, is that we can start preparing our flight management computer. So we will do the GPS, insert that, have a look at our route, and to save time we will use the co-route function, which should work basically just by writing the name of the download, which is the departure and arrival airport. And there we go, now we should have the info. Apart from the SIDS and stars, right? And we won't get the init ref. So as you can see, it's a bit more crude than what you would get with the FS labs, for example. But it's not bad. It's just different. So that's good to be aware of. In terms of SIDS and stars, we could have a look here quickly, actually, and the the best way would be to switch page. So it's Suki, and then it's Carter, P-Berg, and Swan. Okay, so we start with departure at 04, right? This time it was 04. And we have Suki, 5, Swan as the trans. And then that looked fine. And then the arrival is 6 left, if I'm not forgetting anything. 6 left, Carter, and we have Carter 5 here. 6 left and Carter 5. P-Berg, route, leg page, we should have a vectors at the end, which we do, so that's perfect. While we wait, we can put in the, or wait and wait, but as a next step we can put in the performance in it, which should be, and I'm gonna open it actually up on my other screen, my touch screen, just to check. Unfortunately we can't really use these data. The fuel we can, and talking about that, we need to get that fuel. So I'm gonna request the refueling. So we should get a refueling truck here slowly. And now you can see the door has opened, so that's great news. But hopefully we'll get some refueling truck. And here you can see the Trump, oh there it is, speeding. Yeah, the Trump 757. Not that often you see that as a private plane, right? So that's pretty neat. Let's see, fuel 20.2, we'll do a schedule. 0 fuel weight, let's get all this information, not from the flight plan, but from the actual weight and balance of this airplane. 118.6. Let's see what it suggests in terms of fuel. Do we have it here? It's basically fuel on board 20.2, so that's correct. What did that one beep about? Oh, we don't see anything. There's no connection. That's a bit sad. Maybe I haven't set it up correctly. Oh, and the doors haven't closed, so that's very interesting. Let's pay attention to that to make sure it does actually close those cargo doors. Don't want to end up in pressurization issues, etc. Okay, so 0 fuel, 108.6, reserve fuel. We are talking about around 3, yeah, around 3. 276 dash 47 for the average winds. Is a dew point at -4. And then, oh wait, where did I go now? Route 1 holds. No, we don't need to do holds. Takeoff we want to do. So let's not wait with doing that. I'm just gonna check quickly if we got any other messages. No, that was load sheet. So that should be fine. We can keep this open to be able to insert the flight log. But yeah, and let me just check that we're getting the fuel now. Yes, you can see it increasing, so it is loading up the fuel and we're loading up the passengers simultaneously, so that's great to see. And that's pretty cool, at least it has the 3D inside. But yeah, it's really basic texturing. But it is the best one, I think, for P3D, this Ronald Reagan, so good to be aware of. Okay, so now we are gonna do the takeoff performance. We'll use this nice performance calculator. I really like this EFB with the nice kind of Apple inspired setup. we can actually, let me move that down. We can actually, before we do this, we can
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
make sure
I
we
would like to
connect
welcome you
here,
aboard our flight. When you find your seat, please be sure to place your
and we need to
largest
do the
carry-on item in the
departures.
overhead
So
bin
with
and
pilot
smaller items
KDC,
underneath the seat in front of you. Unless you're in the front row, please place all of your items
so
in the
let me
overhead
see
bin.
now. We want to get
If you have any
the
trouble finding a location for your carry-on items, please let a flight attendant know
Carter
immediately.
one with P-Berg, and
If
we
the
want to load
overhead bin
that.
is full, please make sure you close it as a courtesy to
And then
other passengers.
approach, ILS,
Please double-check
direct,
that all your items are put away so that the aisle is
vectors.
clear and other
Oh,
passengers
sorry,
can
we
get
want to
into
do,
their seats. If you're in an emergency exit row, please leave exit seating responsibilities in the card in the seat back in front of
there
you.
we go.
If you're not able
We
to
can
comply
activate
with these actions,
approach.
please let a flight attendant know so that
Let's
we
just
can
make
leave your
sure we,
seat.
yeah,
Don't be
so we
afraid to
have
get
that
out
set
any
up.
last-minute text messages if you need to, but we ask that
Validate
once the department is in, you put away
and
any
file.
laptops or tablets. Thank you and welcome aboard.
We have the right cruising altitude. Should have checked that earlier, but it looks that way. So that's good. I'm gonna move it down because we're gonna connect to the sim, so we should get the 80s shortly. I hope at least. Because the 80s should be taking its information from active skies. Okay, let's see. We are still waiting for it to load. It's taking its sweet time. While we wait, now?
52 local
Now
winds
we
are
got it.
071 at 6 knots. Visibility 10
0,
miles.
7, 1.
2,400 broken. Temperature 11, dew point 4. Current altimeter is 3000. Arriving runway 01, departing runway 04.
I think that was it, right? Let's
Ronald
double
Reagan
check that
Washington
I...
Naval
Oh,
Airport
sorry
information
about that.
Charlie. 852 local
That's what I
winds
wanna
are
do.
071 at 6 knots. Visibility 10 miles. 2,400
Looks
broken.
reasonable.
Temperature 11, dew point 4. Current altimeter is 3000.
And we want to get to the right
Arriving
clearance. I'm not sure why we're on New York clearance, but I guess we can try that. No, that's New York Center. We want to get on Washington ground clearance. So KDC clearance. There we go. And we are gonna ask for clearance. Skyways 4003, ready to copy, IFR clearance. And one interesting thing is that
Skyways 4003 is cleared to Charlie
let's
Yankee
listen to
Uniform
this one
Lima
first.
climb via the Suki 5 departure, then is filed. Expect departure runway 04. Climb to 6,000 feet via the departure. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Potomac departure on 118.9 or 5. Squawk 5041.
Skyways
'Kay.
4003 is cleared to Charlie Yankee.
So we're getting that information. But yeah, what I was gonna say was that it's interesting that we're using the Skyways call sign. I think we still use that even though we're flying Aurora. But you would, I guess, imagine that the subsidiaries might have a different call sign, right? Still haven't closed these doors. Let's pay attention to that a bit. Okay. We still haven't gotten everything or everyone boarded. And now I need to check actually the takeoff weight. So 138 basically. We won't do any reductions. We have anti-ice off, packs on. That's fine. We can calculate. See what we get. Planned weight exceeds max allowable weight of... Now I am really...
Skyways 4003, read back correct altimeter 3000, contact Washington ground on 121.7 when ready for pushback. Have a good morning.
Max allowable weight.
Altimeter 3000 ground on 121.7 Skyways 4003.
Is that because the runway is too short? What if I do without the... Okay, so technically we wouldn't be able to do this. We will do it anyway. And I need to get some data, so I'm gonna cheat a bit. We're gonna say that we are a bit... And we should be lower, right? That's the thing. We should be at a takeoff weight of 134. So let's see if I do 132. We should be able to do this. But I'm a bit surprised actually. Not sure who made this flight plan. I'm not gonna change it now anyway, but good to be aware of at least. Actually, in terms of flaps, could that make any difference if I do flaps 13? Damn. Okay, so we should have a really lower flaps. How much? What should we have? 7? What's their what's the optimum flaps? Let me see. So optimum is flap 15. Well, we'll do flap 15 then. And let's see, if we run out of runway, we'll know what happened. We pushed the aircraft too much. Please do not do this in real life. We can only do this because we're flying a sim, and it should hopefully be fine. So 129, 133, and 142. So 129, 133, 142.
Unfortunately, you are stopped. So taxi down Papa 4, hold short of Sierra.
And I'm gonna make sure to make a really kind of what would you call a really slow takeoff in terms of wait, runway 4, isn't that the long one? So we're not even doing the short one, we're doing the long one. We'll be fine. But let's see, it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, I would otherwise listen. I just gotten too far with this video to redo it. Because the way you would have to redo it is by, I guess then we could change in the zero fuel. I'm not gonna bother with that. We have everything so nicely set up now. And let's see. Now we have these closed. So that's good to see. Let's get the start pumps going. We can deny with the flight door. And we can start the APU. While we wait, we can put in the information for the landing. It should be around 120 if I... Something like that, right? And then we can check what's the baro non-reported. Well, that's not the best. Maybe we can get the document from here. So weather at Pierre Trudeau, altimeter 3002, 3002. There we go. I'll need to remember to put on the RAM mirror. Probably will forget that. We can reset these ones. The APU is on. Looks to be running. Let's put these to auto and on. Shouldn't this one light up though? Now I'm super skeptical though. Oh, there we go. No? Now it... We'll just try it again. Let's have a look on the outside, should be fine. We'll ask for pushback clearance. Skyways 4003, ready for pushback.
Skyways
I don't think you need to do that in the
4003
US actually,
pushback
so
approved.
something to keep in mind.
Pushback approved Skyways 4003.
Let's put this to reasonable speed. So if we change the speed regime, we have that prepared. Now we have the APU up and about. And what we can do is disconnect the external buses, and we can
We're ready to go when you are.
I can't even. What the hell is going on?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard flight 3149 with service to Montreal. Our flight time will be roughly 2 hours. Please note the cabin doors now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already,
I
please
don't.
unhitch your seatbelt and verify it is low and tight.
Let's just wait, see if we can get things set up again. Jesus Christ. Okay, here we go. That's set up. The legs page is set up. The init one is set up. Thank God. Okay. Let me check quickly if the fuel and payload is in the... And it's looking like it's in, so that's good. We're very heavy. The cross weight is lower on this one though, so it shouldn't be as bad as 138. I'm not sure where we're getting these discrepancies. It must be the sim brief. Let's try again. And I'm gonna actually put the emergency light to arm. Hopefully now the APU will work. We'll know very shortly. We need to actually also activate our flight plan. So I'm gonna activate it. It looks correct. Taking off from 04. Actually, is that the opposite one? No, that's 19. We're taking off from runway. No, it is a short one. Sorry, guys. The long one would have been to do 33 and... Or no, sorry, not 33. What's the one called? It's 19 and the opposite of that one. Let me actually check which one that is. So would that be 33? Let me try 19. I wanna see. Yeah, look at this one. This one has a much higher. So if we could get that one, we would be fine. So that's runway 1.
Alright, clear cross 4 into the block behind Southwest, copy 1-4, monitor tower, Delta 839.
I wonder if I could change... If I should change runway. Let's see if we can get the APU working first. It seems to be running. Is it? It looks good. Thank God. Okay, the APU is working. It's probably me clicking it too many times. Okay, but if I wanted to change to runway 1, because that would be the closest thing, would that be possible to do? So if I did departure SID, I would still do Sukifa, but then I would want to do runway 1. Then there wouldn't be any good transitions. So I guess that's the negative of it. Okay, we'll just try the runway 4. Let's see. It'll be a short one. It'll be a bit of a crazy one, but let's see. And I'm just gonna put in, because I want to see what our actuals would be. 127. Okay, they want to put us on a much higher flap setting. 17.5, 127, 131, 140. Of course, this would be from the other runway. What if I do 101? What does that give me? 130. Okay, so let's just try the higher settings. Even though it won't be the correct. So 17.
Ground, good morning, Brickyard 5972, gate 19, ready to push.
5.
Brickyard 5972, good morning to you. Your pushback is approved spot number 2. Pushback spot 2,
There we go, 17.5. We can go and get the takeoff data set. 130, 134, 130, 134, and then 143. Should be fine, right? In terms of the temperature, let me think quickly, because it should be 40 degrees. Sorry, is it this one you wanna?
Monitor tower, you follow the Delta Airbus out of here on the other side. Good morning to you.
Okay, cross 4 inch earlier, we'll follow the bus.
Let me see.
2609, chop, have a good one.
Can you see where it changes? Assume temperature EPR. So if I wanna put in the
United 551, runway 1 via Juliet to hold short of runway 4.
Juliet, hold short of runway 4, United 551.
or do you have to put it in like? Or would that be it? Nah, it doesn't make sense. Okay, let's just leave as is. One thing to learn for another time. And let's get flying, 'cause we have been preparing now for 45 minutes. My god, it's always a slow one. We can operate the jetway. We'll undock. We'll prepare for pushback and departure. Already used a bit of the fuel, for better or worse. We have the external power buses off. We can put on the anti-collision. We can wait with the position strobe light. Anything else? I guess we don't need that technically anymore. And the next step would be to ask for ready for takeoff or prepare for takeoff, which we can wait a bit with. In order to get ready with the engines, we'll put these pneumatic levers up. Do you want to start engine before pushback? No, we do not. We're gonna wing it. Can we already set the trim, or should that actually wait? Well, I'm gonna set it already so I don't forget. Not sure if you should wait for the engines to start, but I guess technically you don't have to, right? The APA or the APU should provide sufficient starting support. And I guess technically we should change this one also to the right one. Okay. This will be very funny to see if we're able to take off. Let me see, pre-flight on the block still. Let's be prepared to go. Okay, so my text documents. Oh, but this is the text one, right? We want to go to my image documents. So let's have a look at these at some point. We only have peer to do. I didn't download the PNGs for Regan. Okay, so we're just getting ready. We have pushback clearance, that's good. Everything else is set up and ready to go. So it'll be interesting to see the takeoff, because it's gonna... Well, it should be correct. I'm gonna hide this one. Yeah, it looks correct. Okay. Let's put these back on, because these we lost, right, with the with the power cut. But not that, so that's good. So to start engines, both. Let's start with the right one. The way to do this is get it to go over 20. Then give it the fuel, and then go back to pressing it. Looks correct. I guess the pitot heats can go on. So we're now getting the right engine spinning, which you can see here. We can set parking brakes. We can give the confirmation for a good engine start. And I'll start the left engine. What happened there? Let's try to get this working. That was odd. Let's hope we don't get to that situation. Okay, let's see. And it's increasing. Good. He's become one with the aircraft, this guy. Very good. Let's do nav. Can we do VNav? Not yet, apparently. PCAS. Let's ask for taxi clearance first, though. Skyways 4003, ready to taxi.
Skyways 4003, runway 04. Taxi via taxiways Golf 1, Juliet.
That's some super odd taxiway. Well, I guess we can do it, but it's very weird. They want us to go to runway 04 and then out again. Okay, but the engines are up and running. That's good news. Seat belt should be on. Small mistake on my behalf. We can close this one. Put that to off. We don't need the start pump. I guess galley. We can turn off the. Let's put on these. We don't need that. Yes, ram mirror since we're on the ground. And then we can also arm. This is very important, remember, to arm the altitude. Let's see, that's the takeoff one. We can arm. Pneumatic levers. And I think you want to put these on while on the ground, but then in climb we'll remove them. Taxi lights. Let's write the fuel. And we'll release the parking brakes and add a bit of thrust. Let's also set the flaps to the right setting, so they are now not in takeoff position actually, even though it looks based on the light. Now they are in takeoff, or are they? 15. Didn't I put it to 17? Let me just check here quickly if there's another setting.
Cabin is ready for takeoff.
Yeah, there's 17. Perfect. Okay, so technically we should be going, so we should be turning out, we should be taxiing on this taxi line. We'll make do with this one. In terms of other things, let's have a look. We now have the out time. Oh wait, now we need to put in the .8. Yeah, so you see I'm still learning the ACAS system. Let's zoom in as much as we can. That should be good enough. We can put on the weather radar, and let's taxi so we don't get in the way of that plane. This ATC won't, of course, know about this other plane, so we'll have to wing it a bit in terms of our taxi route. And look at that, we have a Canada plane there. Because that was one thing I was thinking. I always thought this one was like a domestic airport and it would fly to Dallas otherwise, but apparently not.
Skyways 4003 cross runway 04.
Cleared to cross
We're
runway 04,
we're
Skyways
not gonna cross it, because there's no point. So we'll just wing it a bit. Maybe we should, I mean we're still on the right one, we should take the left one, the first one here. I just don't see the purpose in doing that if we're anyway gonna take the left one and then come back out. That just makes zero sense. Okay, let's think a bit now what we have. Speed brake should be armed. Trim is set. Flaps are set and slats together. Nose light, etc. We should set those. And we have set them properly. We need to set strobe and landing lights. We have nothing up here, so that's good news. We have set the takeoff speeds. So the biggest risk we have in front of us is our illegal use of this runway. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Let's see. Should be fine, but that is something to be mindful of.
Skyways 4003
Let me
contact
change the
Washington Tower,
viewpoint so we get
119.1.
so I can just check quickly that everything is closed.
Skyways 4003.
And it's a pretty good livery, this Aurora one, to be frank. I really like it. It's very nice to see the MD-88 in use in a fleet, like I already reiterated, but yeah, very nice. Skyways 4003, ready for takeoff. We got
Skyways
takeoff clearance.
4003 winds are 071 at 6 knots. Runway 04 cleared for takeoff, squawk 5041.
Runway 04 cleared for takeoff, squawking 5041, Skyways 4003.
Now we really need to use this runway, so I'm gonna turn very late here. So we get as much runway as possible. And then let's see the way we should do this. I guess we should do manually, right? Do you then do auto throttle or do you EPR limiter? Well, let's try by forcing this up first. Have a look at how it's going. Looks pretty good. Let's just disconnect the auto throttle actually. We're just gonna slam it pretty high.
80 knots, cross check.
Okay, 80 knots. 31, rotate. We did it though. We did it. Totally. Let's do auto throttle. And
Gear up.
oh,
Lights out.
I realized why I forgot. It should have been on takeoff here.
Set.
Yeah. So that was the problem. Let's go to climb.
Set.
Doesn't really matter because we had to slam down that throttle anyway. But yeah, something to keep in mind. Now let me see. We're on VNav climb now. The gears are up. We can go with the flaps to 0. It always gets stuck at the slats, so that's
Skyways 400,
Flaps
free
0.
climb and maintain 13,000 feet contact Potomac
There we
departure
go.
on 118.905.
Slats retractor.
Climb and maintain 13,000 feet departure on
very nice to hand fly.
118.905 Skyways
And there we see
400.
DC. Bye bye DC.
Departure Skyways 400.
But yeah, a bit annoying that I forgot that I was very proud of how good I've been following the different procedures, and now I totally failed. Let's see, actually they want us to climb quite a bit, so I'm gonna put autopilot on. And it's now doing autopilot, auto throttle. It's doing EPR, that's good. We wanna ride the fuel. Still looking pretty good. 13,000 feet. That was our next one.
Skyways 400 feet contact Washington Center on
This one should be off.
Center on
Speed brake
122.55
unarmed.
Skyways 4003.
Oh, and we forgot the lights. My god. So many rookie mistakes. Yeah. Lots of not
Center Skyways
following.
4003 climbing to 13,000 feet.
Skyways
Let's have a look on the
400,
outside.
normal.
Looks pretty good. And let's take manual. Yeah, I did that on purpose. I wanna hand fly a bit. That's the fun of these very good add-ons. That you can hand fly them and they fly really well. But yeah, it's it looks very good actually for the real here. Okay, let's see. We have about 1 hour and 30 minutes to go, so it's quite a long flight. Okay, not one of the shorter ones. Nose light should be off already. And I'm gonna guess we're gonna get the clearance to go up to 30. Okay, let's see, we're now descending a bit too much. To 33, they usually are quite nice in giving clearances from Washington. Or I guess the SID isn't that strict. So let's see. Okay, still manual flying, still going good. Try to think if there's something we haven't done correctly, but it does feel like we have the gears up. We're in climb mode. We're above 10,000 feet, that's good. We're flying with the EPR setting. Finally coming out of the clouds. And looks pretty good, right? These 2D clouds, not gonna lie. This is them at their best. As we're above 10,000, these lights should go off as well. we are in VNAV climb, but it seems like it wants us to pick up speed a bit before it starts climbing again. Not sure where we're now. Is this Baltimore, maybe? Or is that further? I guess Philadelphia is further up. If we follow the... This is the Potomac River, or...
Skyways 400.
Not 100% sure, to be honest.
Maintain flight level 210.
Okay,
Climb and maintain
210.
flight level 210 Skyways 4003.
There we have... I'm gonna guess that's the Baltimore airport, actually. Okay, good. Let's trim a bit, so we... There we go. We can now put on autopilot again. And I actually realized something very awkward as well. TCAS, yeah, so I haven't really been following the procedures correctly. Not always the easiest, right? But still annoying when it when it happens. It's not immersive enough. We don't need the ram here. And since we're climbing, we don't need the auxiliary nor the trans. I think technically we could put this on low. And I read somewhere that these hydraulic pumps, that this low-high option shouldn't be on the 88 model. So I'm not sure what to believe now, since I'm seeing it here on the Mad Dog. But food for thought. Okay, let's see. So we have a very long flight. Top of climb is 200 nautical miles away. As we have some time to kill off, what we can do is... let me have a look. What's the difference? Okay, I guess ILS 1093 at 58. But since I flew with this one, I know that the updated course is 57 actually. Localizer failed, GSS fail, and that's fine, I guess. We're soon at 18,000 feet, so that means going to standard with the barrow. And I guess you just have to manually put that to standard setting. I'll already do that so we don't forget. Hard to control some of these planes flying alone, right? Wonder if we ever get to see one pilot planes. That will be that will be interesting. These look good. I mean, technically something could break. I think I have maintenance failures on, but let's hope it doesn't happen. In terms of minimums, we're looking at 298 for category 1. Is it that high actually? 298? Yeah.
Maintain flight level 290.
Climb and maintain flight level 290 Skyways 4003.
What else? What else do we need to prepare? I think that's it. I should have put on this timer as well. Hopefully we have enough fuel. We're getting up to Bros. Let's check what we're supposed to have at Bros. At Bros we're supposed to be at 16.4. We're at 16.85. Should be fine, in other words. Once we arrive at our airport, we are supposed to be at a much lower fuel of 10.2. Yeah, let's go back to the documents one. Okay, still looking good. Climbing. Lights are out. Things are correctly set. We can remove the seat belt. So that's good. And we are flying very nicely up here. I'm actually wondering if I should take yeah, I should probably take a new one. That one did not look too good, and this one was pretty nice with the MD-88. One interesting thing is this the end. I think there can be like more cone and then the flat one. I think we have the flat one. But I'm not sure if this one looks better or the cone one looks better. I think maybe the cone, whatever it's called, looks better on the tail. Look at this beautiful engine, so cigar shaped, right? It's
Center on 132.5
quite
to
old
Skyways
school.
4003.
Okay, still climbing.
Center Skyways 4003 climbing to flight level 290.
But I mean, look at these views, right? Must be amazing being a pilot, right? It's even better in real life. Let's see. I didn't check actually. We are recording and in flight. That's good news. Let's check if anyone else is flying today and where they are flying. That's always fun to see. Or at least I find it to be an easily enjoyable exercise. Or maybe not an exercise, but entertainment. So 737-800, A350-900. This is a long flight this guy is taking. A320, Boris Spill, Heathrow. That's an interesting one. I need to do some photo reel. I have some for Ukraine, but I should expand it because I did the Moldova, which I haven't still flown to, so that was a bit of a waste. And here we have the Aurora, which is the only one flying North America now. Semua, and then Citan, A330. This is a long one. The people, I mean, I would love to do long haul flights, but they just take so much time. A380, right? 747-800, and A350, and what's this? A330 maybe? A320, Topa Sky. Yeah, okay. So not that many flights actually. Okay, and we got the final clearance now, up to 33,000. So we'll slowly climb there.
Skybase 4003 contact Washington Center on 125.45.
Center on 125.45 Skyways 4003.
Let's see if there's any new releases. No new cool airports for P3D. Explain it? No, at least not at sim market.
Skyways 4003, good morning.
I think Explain Store had a sale though. Let me have a look. They had the A320, the default one. Okay, so I'm not really interested in that. It's not the Tolis, right? Or it's maybe it's Tolis Systems. But I mean, I have FS Labs and I fly the Neo of Tolis. That's sufficient. I really try to be a bit cautious in not having multiple types. I mean, I do have the Aerosoft and the FS Labs one, so I guess I broke in my own. But I was able to get the Aerosoft ones very cheap because I had them in FSX, right? So for upgrade costs, that was quite nice. But yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure why I ever doubted getting the FS Labs ones, because they are amazingly good. I mean, there's no comparison with the Aerosoft. Let's put this one to standard, since we can do that as we are still climbing. And actually I don't want to do that, because it would be interesting to see if I now flicked on the anti-ice, what the effect is. But maybe we can do it just to see. Yeah, look at that, we're losing. So let's close those. And now we're gaining again. So very interesting, right? I remember that Mentor Pilot episode talking about the issues with anti-ice and climbing too high with this aircraft. I think they stalled on that one, so not very good. Okay, so we're now above 32. I think I can put this into cruise. I should have put this on. Not sure why I didn't. Soon at our altitude. We're flying cruise with the APR limitations, VNAV climb, nav track. So that's all good. We're going to 33,000 feet. The vertical one is decreasing. Lights are off. Everything is properly set up. So what I'll do, I'm gonna zoom in a bit on this one. Let's check that the APR limitation is working. Now we're doing FMS speed.
Skyways 4003 contact Washington Center on
Let's see what they are saying. So 50 minutes. That should be good. And I'll leave this viewpoint, I think. It's the nicest one. And I'll be back in a jiffy.
Center Skyways 4003 level at flight level 330.
Skyways 4003, good morning.
Starting our in-flight service. We'll be serving complimentary drinks and snacks. Please look in your seat back for a list of complimentary infused drinks. Premium drinks are available for a small charge. If you wish to make an additional purchase, you only accept credit cards.
Southwest 223, you have a rise report to descend for us.
South 223, haven't had any complaints.
Awesome, thank you.
South 5720, contact center 125.65.
12565, coming 5720, good afternoon.
Started out 2615, 18 for 230. South 2615, center, climb 18, flight level 270, and turn at direct, main on course, climb 18, level 270. 270, Delta 2615. So 2615 for 50 degrees right. Alright, turn around, got 2615.
American 1514 197 for 230, 290 knots or better sign, good afternoon.
American 1514, good afternoon, climb 18, level 290.
Flight level 290, American 1514.
Delta 2615. And second? Yeah, Delta 2615, whenever we're done with our heading, if we could put direct laser on request, that'd be great. Delta 2615, next time, center contact zone 127.52. 2752, Delta 2615. Southwest 223, maintain 250 knots. Okay.
Skyways 4003, contact New York Center on 118.907.
Center on 118.907 Skyways 4003. Center Skyways 4003 level at flight level 330.
Skyways 4003, good morning.
American 1514, direct to Mars, Bravo to Alpha.
Direct bar, American 1514.
Southwest 1951 to the right car, Bravo Zulu Alpha.
Bravo Zulu Alpha, Alpha, Southwest 1951.
American 1514, and what is normal speed for you?
90, American 1514.
American 1514, right, or is it normal speed?
Skyways 4003, contact New York Oceanic Center on 121.12.
Center on 121.12 Skyways 4003. Center Skyways 4003 level at flight level 330.
Skyways 4003, good morning.
Southwest 1399, contact center on 128.6.
26, 13. Southwest 694 with you. 18 3, 5230.
Southwest 694, gonna fly maintain level 39er.
Level 390, Southwest 694.
American 1514, cross Hans, and maintain flight level 250.
Okay, Hawk, flight level 250, American, is that correct?
Yeah, Hans is flight level 250, American 1514.
Hawk, 250,
Southwest 1951, clear direct to Phoenix.
Phoenix, Southwest.
Southwest 631, cross William, at maintain flight level 240, and when able, maintain 300 knots or greater.
Okay, 300 or better, and we'll cross Julian 240, Southwest 631.
United 1777, Viola 1 arrival, is set maintain flight level 240.
1770, Ola 1.
Skyways 4003, contact Boston Center on 132.3.
Center on 132.3 Skyways 4003. Center Skyways 4003 level at flight level 330.
Skyways 4003, good afternoon.
American 491, 17,800, 230.
American 491, gonna fly maintain flight level
Skyways 4003, contact Boston Center on 134.3.
Center on 134.3, Skyways 4003. Center Skyways 4003 level at flight level 330.
Skyways 4003, good afternoon.
United 77, contact center on 128.6. 128.6, United 1777. Subsign 66, say Mach number. 179. Subsign 63, Roger. Maintain Mach point 76. 76, 75. contact center 127.526.
2752,
Center, good afternoon, Compass 572260, descending 240-280 knots.
Descend via the Ola line, step maintain 12000, Charles Red altimeter 2987.
Descend via the Ola 1, accept maintain 12000, and power mar 2987, Compass 5720.
Skyways 4003, contact Boston Center on 132.65.
Center on 132.65 Skyways 4003. Center Skyways 4003 level at flight level 330.
Skyways 4003, good afternoon. Skyways 4003 contact Boston Center on 123.75.
Center on 123.75 Skyways 4003. Center Skyways 4003 level at flight level 330.
Skyways 4003, good afternoon.
Select 253, contact approach 128.1 today. 128.1. 86, station time, maintain 12,000.
Down to 12,000 for 886 Whiskey Tango.
Number 86, Tango, contact approach 125.3 today.
That's 125.3 for 886 Whiskey Tango.
Southwest 942, contact center on 28.37. Good day.
2837.
Alaska 1963, what?
Alaska 1963 there.
Yeah, just wonder if we can make our cruise at 360 today.
Alaska 1963 affirmative, and Nelson maintain flight level 360.
I'm maintaining 360 last night. 3, thank you.
Delta 7974.
Skyways 4003, expect the Cart 5 arrival with the PBERG transition with vectors for Niels approach to runway 06 left at Air Elliott Trudeau International Airport, contact Boston Center on 121.35.
Expect the Cart 5 arrival with upward transition with vectors for the ILS approach to runway 06 left center on 121.35 Skyways 4003. Center Skyways 4003 level at flight level 330.
Skyways 4003, good afternoon.
Center compass 5818, 19.9, climb 230.
Compass 5818, center, good afternoon, flight maintain flight level 290.
290, compass 5818.
Southwest 1958, contact center 127.52. Good day.
2752, good day, South 19.
Okay, the captain
Skyways
has returned.
4003 contact Boston Center on
Let's see.
135.7.
Looks pretty nice. Bit of coverage
Center
with
on
the clouds, but
135.7
nothing too bad.
Skyways 4003.
Okay, we're soon at top of descent. So kind of the right time to come back.
Level at flight level 330.
Yes, we're level.
Skyways 4003, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you too. Okay, so we want to get down to around 3,000 feet.
Skyways 400, 3 descend via the CRTR 5 arrival with the bird
Let's get
transition
the
to 5,000 feet. Altimeter 3002 at Pierre Elliott Trudeau International Airport.
5,000 feet.
Descend via the Cart 5 arrival with the bird transition to 5,000 feet. Altimeter 3002 Skyways 4003.
Let's see if I do this. Nothing's happening. Perfect. Okay. Nothing in terms of the fuel. Any reports? Crew. I just realized I forgot to do the prepare for takeoff. Awkward. Yeah, so many small mistakes this time. Sorry, what we want to do is we're on route. No, sorry, not en route. Requests, and we want to request. Yeah, we could have requested flight plan, but I think 80s is what we want to request at this point. And we want to request arrival 80s. So let's ask for that. Let's have a look here at our 3,000 feet, and we got the 80s, so that's good. Very quickly as well, which is nice. So it's here in received messages. 80s. Wind 04 at 6 knots. Pretty good considering we're landing at runway 6. Broken at 250, that's pretty good. QNH 3002, temperature 06. So that's perfect. And I guess it's dew point -4, right? Good. Let's print it. As you can see, it's coming up here. So we try to remember that at least. And now let's check if we'll get the descent. Let's jump to the front again, just check a bit around. Maybe jump outside even. That looks very nice. I mean, the Rex clouds looking like this, it's really nice when they have the cumulus. It does really help, so to speak, in terms of making it look nice. Even though their kind of non-cumulus clouds are also good, and their storm clouds are really nice. But yeah, I really like their cumulus clouds. But okay, so let's see. We're still waiting for descent. We have about 120 nautical miles to go. We'll be descending to flight level P-Berg, so we'll be there at 16,000 feet. And then we'll be at 14,000 at Lutz. You can't see them here, but they're P-Berg Lutz. And then we'll be getting down and down. And we'll be using heading mode at the end, most likely at least. I think that's it, right? Let me just check. Do we have any other manuals or similar? I mean, we have of course the user manuals. We have the quick guide how to fly it. Oh, you can see random weight and pax number variation. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's cool. And you have the shared cockpit guide as well, which is nice, of course. Let's open the... Let's see if we have the stars actually. So this is Carter. So it's a bit different, right? Carter 1 and we're on Carter 5. It's been quite a bit of different iterations. We're descending now automatically in accordance with the VNAV. That's good. And with the profile that we have. I think Ebdot and Plattsburgh is still here. Lutz is a new one here in the middle. I don't think Almev is anymore in the star. I think it's quite a different one nowadays. And here's the airport, right? So if we're landing at 60 left, here's the main airport. We wanna probably get out at B1 or B3, and then we'll just taxi down here to the airport. I think this is the small terminal for the smaller ones. Can you switch these in any way? Yeah, if you right click on it, it will flip. So that's pretty cool. Okay, specific restriction, right, to be aware of. So if you have a specific wingspan, you can't taxi there. Let's set everything up just in case the weather would take a turn for the worse. We can do an auto land. Don't think I've ever done one with the Mad Dog, but it's better safe than sorry. One thing that's different with this one compared to the MD-82 is the fuel. So this auto one. But that's basically the only thing I've seen that I can pinpoint like this is different. There's probably more things. If I would have flown the other the MD-82, I could probably tell much easier, but yeah, this is what we have to work with, or this is what I know based on the knowledge I have. It doesn't look as good though, the fuel, when it was the auto ones, right? Didn't look too nice. Looks pretty good, these the photo reel here. I really like the 2D clouds when it comes to the ground. That looks very realistic. I don't like the clouds coloring. If you get the coloring better, then they would be really nice, but they're always standing out a bit too much. They're a bit too bright. Technically, I think, or I guess if you would really go down on the brightness, there's like a point where it starts to look somewhat good, but it just, I don't know, then it becomes too dark with the ground. Right, I mean this looks way too dark. How's saturation, right? Yeah, if you really want to lose. I imagine if the problem with this is then you start seeing all these boundaries better. So yeah, I'm kind of happy with the settings I have now. They look relatively realistic. 3002. We can start to insert that. I'm actually wondering now, do Canada have any specific transition, or does it follow the US of 18,000? Yeah, 18,000 transition. Okay, good. I'm just gonna set this one, the standby altimeter, and this one, so we have those correctly set up. I'm gonna also close the upper menu bar. And we have about 60 nautical miles to go. A bit more maybe. We'll be taking a bit of a turn, so we have probably around 80 in total. Maintaining speed relatively nicely. I'm not sure if there's a prog page here. Okay, there's one. 11.3, which I'm gonna assume isn't too far off from what we should have. So 11.3 at Peberg. 11.1, so we have a bit of extra fuel, that's good. Okay, soon below 20,000. Soon enough I'll also put on the seatbelt signs. Very organized forests here, they all look kind of squared. And there's some airport, probably military. Could be of course something else. Let me check quickly on the... No, it might actually be a civilian airport. Looks a bit badly maintained, but it might actually be a civilian one. I'm just looking here, right, and I could see a bit of these normal jetways, some cars, right? It's not totally unreasonable for it to be a civilian one. Okay, we're coming down to 18,000, time to get the barrow right. $5,000 feet is what we've been cleared to descend to, so that's what we'll be aiming for now. There's really not been that many releases for X-Plane. I'm looking, you know, the new aircraft, but it's basically the flight factor engine expansion that's out there. Basically that's it. Okay, still descending, still looking fine. One thing I'm wondering, do we put these trans auxiliary ones on for landing? Guess this one we want to go on medium. We could actually do our calculation in that regard. So the landing one, since we did get the details here. Or maybe we can actually watch it from here. 04 at 6. Yeah, 04 at 6. We'll be landing at the CYUL. Dry. We'll be going with full flaps, I would say. 046. Temperature, that was 6 degrees, right? And then auto brake, medium, reverse, yes. QNH 3002. Landing weight, that's a good one. 128.7. One, 3, 7. Yeah, this looks pretty fine. Nothing to complain about. This cross weight is much lower though. How come? I don't even know anymore. I really don't know how this one works. Maybe there's a setting for that, so you can do it manually. Can't seem to find the setting though for that. Okay, very soon at 10,000 feet. And we haven't started slowing down yet, so that does give me a bit of concern. But let's have a look. We should be going much slower soon. Yeah, look at that, now it changed. I'll do the landing lights. Let's see where they are deployed. So there they are. So they do create a bit of drag actually. So now we have both of these out. That's very interesting. Wouldn't you, to save space, I guess you would want to build it into the hull? But oh well. Just minor differences. Let's also now put on the seatbelt signs. Ask for prepare for landing. We'll also ask here to put the seatbelt signs on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the flight crew has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please ensure seats and fasten seatbelt.
Okay, we're starting to get out of the clouds. Stabilize their motion. Or something like that. So the airport should be in front of us. You can see some of the buildings starting to load in here, where the mouse is. Yeah, it's not long now. Very nice, very nice. And it looks pretty good. This is zoom level 14, so it's not very good photo real in terms of the how it looks through ground, but it's good in terms of memory. It doesn't take that much memory, which is very nice. So, Pierre Trudeau. What are we looking at here? Nothing specific. Climb on 700 feet. I'm hitting 058, so continue. Climb left turn to 3000, heading 359. Do we have that? Yes, we do have the heading for a missed approach and a holding point. Let's not miss it though. I really can't stress that enough. I really want to have a good approach now. So let's try to stay ahead of the airplane and not fall behind it, which is easily possible to do. Let's have a look on the outside. Look at this beauty. It's a very nice livery. It's just such a well working plane. Never any frame rate issues. I just really like that fact. And look at this. Looking very nice. Some loading. And there we can see the airport. So we'll be turning left very shortly. Let's see if we have traffic. Some 777s, 757s, 737s, A330s. Yeah, a lot of international traffic. I see the smoke. Here you can really see kind of the blurriness on the photo reel, so not really the nicest once you get closer to the ground, but that does save a lot of gigabytes, right? And as you can see, it's not oxygen, isn't perfect, right? So you should probably be a little bit of a city, but just a bit of buildings. But it's pretty good still, I would say, for like a non-thought through kind of just basic oxygen for ortho for XP. Have we gotten any further clearances? Are we still on Boston Center? Well, I guess it is. That's very interesting. Should we be handed over to the... Wouldn't there be Montreal Center or something? Okay, I'm gonna check what the approach they have in mind is. We actually wanna get lower. Because that's the restrictions on this one. Are we descending yet? Nothing yet. There we go, descent. Like, this is the hard because we're flying a star, right? So I'm not sure, does ATC take precedence? Let's see if we get the approach information soon. Nothing yet. I really need to get some info from them soon.
Skyways 400,
There we go.
3 maintain heading 240 vectors to the ILS approach for runway 06 left at Pierre Elliott Trudeau International Airport descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Turn to heading 240 vectors to the ILS approach for runway 06 left
3,000
descend and
feet.
maintain 3,000 feet Skyways 4003.
Okay.
Skyways 400, 3 you are 60 nautical miles southwest of the airport. Fly heading 360 to intercept final. Cleared for ILS approach to runway 06 left. Contact Montreal Tower on 118.9er.
Fly heading 360 cleared for ILS approach to runway 06 left. Tower on 118.9er Skyways 4003.
Let's just do a direct to Sulta. Because what this means is we can do the nav, get a bit of a better turn.
Tower Skyways 4003 inbound for ILS approach runway 06 left.
Skyways 4003, good afternoon, continuous to runway 06 left, call to
Let's
establish
see.
Continue ILS runway
No
06
slides
left,
can
call
probably
to
go
established
on.
final Skyways 4003.
You can arm the speed brake. And we're turning, looking pretty nice. This is a lovely plane to fly, the Mad Dog. I really like this one and the Kulski one, the DC-9 and the classic MD-80. Still the only one out there in the flight sim community. Okay, we are seeing that one go down. Okay, let's see now. I'm gonna remove the auto throttle and let's see if I can keep it somewhat reasonable. Sorry about that, coughing in the mic, never good. We can, okay, let's see, we're getting the nav mode now. So we're getting the localizer. We overshot it by a bit, but nothing too crazy. We're right on the glide slope, so that's good to see. Let's throttle down a bit. We can also add slats now.
Slats extended.
So at Birpo we should be at 1,500. Let's drop the gears. think that should be fine. We can probably add a bit more flaps. So pretty good visual. Could be worse. That's what I'm trying to communicate. I still think we can't arm that. Let's see. What's that inhibition? Below glide slope, push to inhibit. Okay. Let me get the viewpoint back to something reasonable. Okay, ILS looking good.
2500.
Let's continue adding more flaps.
Flaps 15.
Okay, let's see.
Flaps 28.
We'll add a bit of thrust so we don't end up with our belly in the water. We'll go flaps full. Is it at 28 now? There we go. And I will also arm the outer brakes. And I will now take control manually. God. Getting all this cough right on the final. The stress is getting to me. Let's pitch up. And this pitch up should lead to quite a decrease in speed, considering we have a lot of flaps, etc. We probably will have to try to think now. We probably have to bit crab to the left, but let's keep our eyes on that and check.
Skyways 4003 winds are 055 at 3 knots. Cleared to land runway 06 left.
Clear to land runway 06 left, Skyways 4003.
Traffic. 5696, contact departure 1288.
500.
5696.
400. 300. 200. Sink rate.
We need to pull up.
Light slow. 140.
Exit 794 tower, continue number 1 traffic to depart winds comp.
10.
Continue 23, XR 7
Okay.
2 in reverse.
Let's see. Felt like we were going super fast. But maybe it was just me.
60 knots.
Sorry, that was a bit of a weird angle for the landing, but it just felt like we were really not flying the proper way in terms of... Well, maybe it's a very good glider, this one. Let's put this to off. That's probably what got us to stop. Yeah, goddamn. I don't think we had auto trolls, so not sure why. I think the landing was really good though. But yeah, that was a bit odd. Skyways 4003, ready to taxi.
Skyways 4003 contact Montreal round on 121.0 for taxi clearance.
Let's
round
disconnect
on 121.0
those.
for taxi. Skyways
Strobe.
4003.
Skyways
Ground on 121.0, Skyways 4003.
Let's get the APU. Skyways 4003, ready to taxi. Okay, and let's
Skyways 4003 taxi to gate Bravo 41 via Bravo 1, Bravo, Echo, Alpha 4.
Taxi to gate Bravo 41 via Bravo 1, Bravo, Echo, Alpha 4, Skyways 4003.
Hey, look at that. Jaw dampener off, Mach trim inoperative, wind shear inoperative. Did I blow something? Oh no, now it's working. God damn. Getting me all scared here. Aren't they on now? Guess we don't need double bleeds. Okay. So we have landed in Montreal. I think this is the first time actually in one of my videos we flew to Montreal. I don't think we have done Toronto either, but we definitely need to do that. Very nice airport, Toronto. Having flown a couple of times now to Montreal, since I did the same route with this same airplane a couple of days ago, offline mode, not recording. I must say I do prefer Toronto by flight Tampa. I mean the Montreal one is really good, don't get me wrong, but it's just not that interesting of an airport. But I guess if you live in Montreal, you will have a bit of a different take on that, right? Totally understandable. It's how I kind of like Helsinki and Arlanda, even though those could also be considered quite boring airports. Okay, let's see. We will just stop somewhere. Maybe we can take this one. Which one is that? We could also do one of these very small ones. Maybe that makes most sense. I mean, we're not a big plane, we're an MD-88. Yeah, it could be nice there with the turboprop. It's a very well done airport. I think it's one of the newer ones, like not super new like Amsterdam or let's say Copenhagen. So let's see, that should be 19. So let's try 19. So we use gate. That'll be fine. 19A. Let's do that. Or is there one for 19? There is one for B. Okay, interesting. Nothing for 19 itself, but for these smaller derivatives. Okay, and let's see now. So we're turning in. We can shut that one. We don't want to blind the guys on the ground. So we just park, and then we can just do a replay, and then we can shut it all down. Okay, let's see. Let's brake a bit. Turn the nose. That will do. Was there no guy who was gonna guide us? Well, I guess this guy, but he looks a bit tired of life. Okay, good. Let's shut it. We have parking brakes. We're shutting the engines. Good times. I love the sounds in this one. I don't know why people say it has bad sounds. Maybe it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. You're not supposed to hear the engine up front. Oh, pretty good, but I think it's, you know, decent enough. Is that an A220? No, it's an Embraer, right? 175. Not sure why I always get them wrong. I'll blame the developers, the modeling. Okay, let's have a look at this one. So we have landed, we're post-flight on the blocks, we can stop recording, and we can submit our flight. Very good. Then we can close. Next thing we can have a look at is this one. We can do seatbelt signs off. If we want to get the chocks, we should just put on or put off the anti-collision. And now I could hear the music, which means that our passengers are departing, which means we can end the flight. 180 feet per minute, so not as good of a landing as when I did it a couple days ago, so I had 88. But this is pretty decent, I would say. Let's do 360. We need to go a bit further, I think. 430 should maybe be enough. No, that was a bit too tight. 460 should be enough. So yeah, I was pretty okay, happy with the approach. I felt we were going a bit fast. But I mean, technically you're supposed to go a bit fast, so I usually go quite slow. It just felt like we were going, look at this wing flex. Yeah, that's some nice wing flex. Very beautiful airport, I must say. It does look beautiful though. Not my favorite, but very beautiful. Flight Campus Airport, all are just amazing. Let's see, I feel like we come down with a very low kind of flare. But actually a pretty good landing. And there we could see the deployment of the thrust reversers. Yeah, that must actually been one of my better landings with the MD-80. I'm starting to get good with the landings on it now, which makes me very happy. Because I had a lot of issues when I started, not knowing how to handle this beauty, this drama queen, this mad dog. But yeah, that's it. So a bit of a longer video today, 2.5 hours almost. But I do hope you still, let me just close this, enjoyed it. And if you have any questions or comments, let's maybe close that, do feel free to leave them down below. And yeah, other than that, thank you for watching. And oh, look at that, the thrust reversers are still deployed. Oh well. But yeah, other than that, have a good rest of the day. Until next time, bye bye.